I studied economics, but I saw chefs and musicians, teachers, uh, other engineers from different backgrounds, learning how to program websites and apps. So it's a social thing or movement that I saw experience, or the world is experienced more because of this pandemic, because everyone is at the beginning of this pandemic was in lockdown, right? In their house, stuck in their house, and you ended up using your internet, your laptop to learn something, or if you're lazy
something to do with your time. Huh.
Yeah.
This is going to be such a fascinating time, like looking back in history, or like when this time becomes history, or I suppose every second is history, but like how people, I'm so fascinated, like the studies or whatever comes out years from now of how people spent their time during this, and like just the changes in behavior. Like it's going to be so interesting, I feel like.
Yes. It's not easy to change careers, but I heard that in America, in Europe, many people do that, right? It's very common there, like to have 2 or 3 careers.
I think even more so. It feels like,
yeah.
I think what we're seeing, what's happening, and I think you touched on it earlier, is like you're working with like small and medium-sized businesses in e-commerce, right?
Enica? Lima?
Yeah.
I'm working for a startup from Utah. So
okay.
No, but I was planning to help small and medium businesses to have an e-commerce platform. That was my initial idea when I joined a bootcamp.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I think
eventually, as a consultant in the future, I can do that as a freelancer.
Yeah. I feel like
for now, so
it seems like there's more access to e-commerce for more people. So I think as the future, as we keep going here, people are just going to find like multiple ways to generate income in e-commerce for themselves. So maybe like, does that make sense? Like instead of like one job for a long period of time, being able to like take advantage of working remotely and doing like multiple things at once. I don't know.
Yeah, that's an advantage of that leave this pandemic, like many people and companies are going to adapt to that platforms, to teach from online courses, to sell stuff, products, services from online platforms or websites. Yeah, it's going to be more and more on that from now on.
Yeah, because it's almost like we have like two things happen at once. We have like the pandemic, but then the like compounding in technology where these like they're coming together, and it won't be the same again. It's going to be like something new when we emerge out of this, I feel like.
Yes, it's going to change our lives.
Yeah.
And shape our society. Yeah.
Definitely. We had a recording earlier this week with someone who's like in airport operations, and I was asking him about like the future of like flying. What does it look like 10, 20 years? And he's really curious about that because COVID has really affected the aviation industry. And he thought that it used to be before, like businesses would send people very often to like fly and meet with someone in another place. But now that you can like meet remotely, the like business class on airplanes will probably be fewer and fewer. So it'll be like catered more towards like leisure flying, maybe.
Oh yeah, I think we won't need to for work, at least, for example, we will need to fly from one city to another. Many jobs are going to keep remote jobs. Like it's going to be like this more often than ever. I mean, even if you're working in technology or you are a community manager, especially because community manager is easy to work remote in every part of the world. But management too, you can manage a company from your home and arrange meetings every day, every day, every week with Zoom and Google Meets. I mean, I don't think it will be less essential to travel. Only if you want to have vacations in another city, visit a friend or family. But for work, no, I don't think we are going to need to spend money in business seats in the planes.
What about this? What do you think? Do you think there will be more travel because now people are freed up to work wherever because they can work remotely?
Yeah.
So they could literally now they have the freedom. Before it was like you have to come to this building every single day and be here. But now they can work remotely. Will there be more travel, or do you think less travel because now people can just stay in one place?
That's a, let's say, tricky question because I still keep the idea of if we work remotely, we depend on the personality of the people. I mean, if you don't like to, if you prefer to be in your comfort zone and work from home, you won't need to travel more, but only on vacations. But the other side is that some works will allow you to give you more freedom, more personal freedom or free time to travel and work everywhere. If you want to know new cultures, meet new people, if you have that in your personality, if you want to do that, I think you're going to. And even better, if you have a remote job like me, and eventually you're going to travel more. Yeah, definitely. And I think it depends on the people. I won't say no, we want to travel more and that's it. No, it's like I will be close-minded if I say that 100%. Sure.
Yeah, we don't know for sure.
I think it's depend on the people, like I met people that don't like to travel, don't like to go to the highlands and experience the altitudes or, but also I met people like they want to experience those things. They like to, they like to travel and meet, know new cultures and more. So depends on the people. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do you prefer? Do you prefer having just like your same, like a setup that you have and like, this is my setup, or do you find yourself kind of going around a little bit?
I miss travel. I mean, I didn't travel much abroad, but more here in Peru because, well, back then was affordable for me with my previous jobs. But yeah, I prefer that eventually I will travel more. I will travel more. The first stages of your career as a developer, it's not easy, like it takes time to solve problems while you are programming a website, for example, or an app. So it takes much time that the company require you to work. But I will make up time to travel more eventually and work from any city. That's one of the reasons that I joined, change careers, basically, because I was burnt out with my previous jobs. Because also I was working like 50 hours per week, more or less, even more.
Yeah, that's a lot.
In a week. So yeah, I was like tired. I like it because it's management, it's you deal with people, but sometimes it's stressful. But now I have the option to travel more and work from everywhere. So I would love to experience that. I have more freedom, more free time. Not free time for the moment because I'm just starting my career as a developer. But yeah, I have more freedom to be able to do that, to have the opportunity to travel more and work from everywhere.